Hi everyone, we are back. It's Brenda and
Lynn.
yay! Today we're going to chat about how to F the fupa. And and it's going to be a quick one because I'm sorry, but I got my Jets whiteout towel. I'm ready to go. The game is starting in 2 seconds, and we're going to chat, and then I'm going to go cheer for my Jets because it's that time of the year. Hockey playoffs. Yay.
Yeah.
Even though Lynn and I met through football, it's all about hockey for me right now. Football's not for another month yet till training camp. Today, I called Lynn this
Sounds
morning
like
and
a
I'm
true
like,
Canadian.
yeah. I called Lynn this morning. I'm like, Lynn, the math ain't mathing. I'm trying to figure out stuff. And I was going through my closet all morning. And as I'm getting healthier, clothes are getting bigger. And I have to go through them so that I can donate some and or share them, pass them along. And when I went into my Fitness Pal, because I used to use it religiously to track all of my everything that I was eating, how many steps I was doing, and to track my measurements. And I've literally got it going back to 2021. I did lose a whole bunch of information. I had it for a decade before, so I was a little ticked at losing all that info. But it was really great to see, the trajectory going down, but it's not down. It's like this, up,
Yeah.
down, but it's over the years. It's kind of like the stocks, you guys.
It's progress.
It's
Yeah.
progress.
And there's
But
ebbs and flows. Exactly.
yeah, but one of the things that I noticed is I'm like, wait, okay, look at how many calories I was eating. And I think that math is off. And
Mhm.
now that I am a lower weight, I need to adjust my calorie intake. And then I start, my brain is tired. And I'm like, if I don't understand how to do the math, because everyone knows I'm allergic to math, I have to ask Lynn to help simplify it. And we had a really quick conversation this morning. We thought it would be a great topic because sometimes you can calculate so much that you make yourself crazy. And so we are going to chat today about how to kind of figure out some of the protein goals, how to figure out where you should be caloric wise,
So
but
we're gonna
not to
do
obsess
girl
about
math.
macros and all that. Yeah, let's unmath because I hate math.
Yeah.
So how can we make it simple? So, Lynn, my first question to you was, how do I calculate the number of calories that I should be eating now at the weight that I am now? Because I've never been this weight before. And um, I loved her answer of that well, I'm not going to answer for you. I'm going to let you answer, but it's really, go talk to a dietitian because it's different
Well,
for everybody. And don't just listen to all the stuff that's online because it's a bunch of hoo-ha.
yeah, like I have this question a lot, and I'm not a registered dietitian. So obviously, I know because I work as a diabetes nurse with all registered dietitians that they know all the formulas and they have a whole program for, and it takes into consideration a lot more like your activity level, you know, all your macronutrients are your carbs, fat, fiber, protein, your micronutrients, so your vitamin minerals. But you don't need to know all that stuff. Like that's just a lot of things that we don't need to focus on. I think in a weight loss journey, we just have to do basic, simple, something that you can, like I'm not a math person either. So um
Me either.
yeah. So you'll see online things like and they're all ballpark and they're a good base, I suppose. But again, if you're not as active, you don't need 200 grams of protein a day. I hear people say that, and that's going to blow out your kidneys if you're trying to be 130 pounds. You don't need that much. It's really not, and you're getting way more calories that way. So you don't need that if you're trying to be in a calorie deficit. Protein does not build your muscle. Protein supports when you're trying to build muscle with resistance training. So a lot of people I hear, you need protein to build muscle. I'm like, yes, it supports and protects your muscle, and it helps um, with healing, and it is useful for many other things like making you feel full all day. Protein is useful for blunting your blood glucose spike after you eat, but it is not like the only thing to focus on. We need carbs for our brain to function. If you have diabetes or if you don't have diabetes, we need a certain amount of calories and carbs to, again, not have brain fog and lightheadedness, and be, I had a patient of mine who actually became my plumber, and he was here the other day hooking up our dishwasher, and every time he looked like he was getting dizzy, or I just asked him if he was okay, and he was like, "Oh, I've lost 40 pounds on this Manjaro in the last year." He goes, "But I'm dizzy all day." And I was like, "You're not eating enough." I just looked at him, I could tell. He was like, "I have to get up slow, I get dizzy and lightheaded." And I was like, "Okay." So
Oh,
I
wow.
literally gave him grapes and I gave him a protein bar. And I said, "In 20 minutes, you're going to feel better." And he came, he's like, "I feel so much better." I'm like, you can't not eat, and you can't just make your brain function without fiber, fat, protein, carbs. So the short answer is I don't need you to math and know the exact amount and track everything. If you want to for a while, it gets you, on a tracker or on an app, it gets you used to it, how much protein is in food or how many carbs are in food. But really, when we teach you to make sure you have a balanced meal, half your plate might be your veggies, a quarter of is your protein, or we just say, just do the palm of your hand is 3 to 4 ounces. Get 3 to 4 ounces at each meal. And again, you're not striving for perfection here. We just want it to be super simple. So carbs, protein, fat, or half your plate veggies, carbs on the corner, protein on the other corner. And the numbers, like, again, if you're listening to your body, you want to make sure you feel like you're not lightheaded. You feel like you're getting enough energy. You're not having brain fog and you're not tired. So it's more to do with your activity level, your day, your stress, how you slept. So lots of variables, but not so much. So just if we wanted a basic average, so your goal weight, let's say it's, I think you said around 130 grams, right?
Guess. I guess. I
So
don't know.
if
Yeah.
I times, I've obviously got to use my calculator because I'm not fast at this, but let's just say 130, if that was your goal weight, times 12, approximately 1,560 calories in one day. Now, um, you don't have to count calories again. I just wanted to make sure each meal is about 400 to 500 calories. That's an easier way to put it, or
Right.
300 to 400 calories and a couple snacks.
Right.
So the protein, again, 3 to 4 ounces. This is a small amount of protein. 4 ounces might be of salmon or fish or chicken. You're going to be about 20 to 25 grams of protein. So again, if you got 25 to 30 at each meal, you're nearing 100. And most people, for 130, that would be, if you're not that active, um, you don't need a full gram per pound of body weight. Maybe you just need 0.7, zero 0.8 to start with. If you're lifting super heavy and you're lifting weights more than, say, 2 or 3 times a week, 4 or 5 times, then you might need a higher protein goal, 1 to 1.2 kilogram pounds. Sorry, grams per pound of body weight. So let's say for you, for example, you're starting to lift a little more, and your goal weight again is 130. If we times that, say, by 0.8, which is a moderate amount, that's about 104 grams of protein a day. So again, you get lots of different varieties too. We want meat sources, legumes. You want to do some whey protein. You don't want it to be all whey protein and things that are like in a shake form, because again, that's processed. You want different forms of protein.
Whole
But to get,
foods.
yes, but to get to your goal, sometimes you need, like, maybe, like I know we both do an iced protein coffee. So
Yeah.
um so does that answer sort of basic? I don't want people
Yeah.
to get too crazy. I just want you to think just super simple.
Yeah. I'm going to share my win this week. My win this week is Lynn has been talking to me for a quarter of a century to lift weights. And I've ignored her for a quarter of a century. So I called up my trainer. I have not seen him since 2021. I did see him a little bit after my injury. And then as I healed, went back to work and got really busy. And I didn't want to, I don't know. I didn't fit him in. I needed to put myself as a priority, but I didn't. I started doing other things. But so I saw him for the first time since 2021. And when he walked up to the tennis courts to do my assessment, he was like, "Holy smokes, what have you been doing?"
Shock.
Because the last time that he
That's
saw me,
awesome.
I was 175 pounds. And now
He
I'm
was probably
under,
like,
right now I'm under 145. And he's like, "Okay, let's talk about what you're doing, for one. For two, um, what do you want to do? Like, what's your goal? And I said, my goal is functional strength. I said, because my girlfriend's on me. I hate doing weights. He goes, I know. Because he's heard it as much as Lynn. And so he goes, I will build a program where it's hidden because, if you give me the kettlebell to swing, or if you give me the weighted vest to do a workout with, or if you got me doing the whatever, if I'm doing resistance training, but I'm not at a gym pushing weights, that's what works for Brenda. And we just had to find what worked for me. And he goes, I remember. And so when we did all of my assessments, he said, first of all, you're way stronger than you were 4 years ago. Your balance is night and day, because after he saw me was about 6 months, 8 months after my injury. Um, just
Well, you're
all
a
of the
whole
things.
different mindset. So I've known you for a
Sure.
long time. You have diabetes. You're, again, GLP-1 receptor agonist is something that is, it's almost like a flip of a switch. So it works on the receptors in your small intestine. All of a sudden, you weren't as hungry all day. The food noise is gone. Your food's going in slower. Your A1C is better. You have more energy. You started doing an hour every day of walking, an hour every day for a year. You
Mm-hmm.
did the work. It did.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just fall off your weight. It's the tool that helped you flip a
Yeah.
switch,
Yeah.
and I know it did it for me. So,
Finding that right diabetes medicine for me after trying for so many years to find the one that worked for Brenda.
and the other
It was
thing is,
amazing. It was
because it
amazing.
works for to help your receptors work better, because when you have diabetes, those GLP-1 receptor agonists don't work as well. So, um, aside from all the benefits, you have changed your thoughts, and you're more accountable to yourself. And I always say it's like you have to also flip to um, from going from I'm obese or I'm overweight, I can't get this done, I'm too tired. It's not excuses, it's everything you're trying that weighs you down because nothing's working.
I was so
And when it
frustrated,
finally,
Lynn.
and I was
Oh,
too, I was right there with you. I literally just tried and tried and tried. And again, mine was more insulin resistance due to no estrogen, but it still causes you to think, okay, this person's not trying enough, or they're sabotaging themselves. But really, when you're hungry all day and you think that your macros are okay, but they might just be a little nibble here and there, obviously
that's up.
the calories were higher. You weren't doing the hour of walking. All those things that we always wanted us to do, obviously now that we're doing it, we know that we needed help. And that is exactly what I'm saying is your mindset. You need to shift your mindset so that now you are a healthy individual. And that's a lot of people at first have sort of this imposter syndrome where they think, oh my gosh, like I thought I was in good shape, but nothing's, I guess, I can't do it because it's my body. But your whole focus and your mindset and your positivity is what is working. So you can't just make the changes physical if you don't make the mental adjustment. So the mental adjustment
100%.
is so much more, because that's what's going to carry you to be healthy the rest of your life. So you, again, now that you have more energy, now that you're back into seeing your trainer, you're going to see your body composition shift. I mean, it's incredible, but within 8 weeks, your clothes will fit differently. So already you've lost a ton of body fat, but now you're going to build that muscle you have, you're going to activate it and wake it up. And you're
Mm.
going to see a little more
Oh,
like
I want to look like
tone.
that.
It's
I want that. I want the
Listen,
nice sculpted back. I've always dreamt of that
but
nice sculpted back.
now you're in. So I kind of, you know, I trained weights all last year and you couldn't see my muscles, whereas you've lost the muscle all last year and now you're going to build the muscle. So again, it's a mind shift though. It cannot just be about what is aiding you. and what you're doing is as far as protein. It's a whole mind shift. So
Yeah.
you
And that was
have to
another thing
be.
that he said to me. He said,
Mhm.
"What what exactly have you been doing, Brenda? Like what
Yeah.
exactly?" And I said, "Well, I got a I got a walking treadmill. I
Mhm.
got a desk that is up high. I walk all day. So I run with the dog in the morning. I walk all day, not all day. I'll sit down to eat my lunch. I'll sit down when I'm in
You're
meetings,
getting your steps in.
but
That's
I just
important.
walk slowly. I never sweat. I'm not
But you're getting your steps in. That's not
I'm
your
walking all day.
cardiovascular activity. That's your
Yep.
steps. Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, because you've got postman calves." He goes, when I work with postmen, he goes, they've all got these crazy calves. He goes, because they're walking all day long. And I said, well, I've
And you've
always been a
always had
runner.
those calves, but you were walking with 30, 40, 50 pounds more on you. So they
Yeah.
were really building up. Now, again, we're just going to build other muscles that you
Yeah.
didn't know you had waiting there to
Yeah.
be activated. So,
Yeah. So I
um,
just feel like I feel that it all has finally come together. The one piece that I was missing was the weight resistance. And now, and I'm going to just share our story, Lynn. I surprised Lynn in February. When did I come see you? February, January?
February. Hmm.
February? I bought her a medal to compete with me on this pacer challenge because I've been doing these challenges, as you guys know, back to back to back to back. I got a million medals. I don't even know. I just run or I walk all day long. And I loaded her up on the app and I'm like, because I loved it so much, but I didn't know if she would love it. And now she loves pumping weight so much. I don't, but I promised her, I'm like, you walk with me. I will do the
Well,
weights.
she
I
got my
promise you.
steps up, and I'm helping you get your resistance training up. And
Yeah.
I have a sedentary job. I sit with patients all day talking. So I do have a walking treadmill. I try to get on it, but I definitely don't get all those 7,500 steps I want every day. But this app at the end of the day, if I'm not at my step count, I want to make sure that it tells I'm on a streak now of 35 days. I've walked 150 miles of my 400 miles that I need to get through the Jordan Trail. But the thing is, I do get up and I look at the end of the day. And I go a couple of blocks again because I'm not sometimes at that step count. So,
And I'm so
yeah.
proud of you because but
Well,
it's
and
that
I'm
little
proud
thing.
of you. That's the
Find
whole
the
thing is,
thing that motivates you. That
yeah.
silly medal and watching my steps and seeing my streaks and following Lynn on the
Keeping your
trail,
streak going. Yeah.
it just motivates you. And so
Yeah.
now I knew I didn't have the motivation to do the weight training. I know the pool's not going to be open for a bit, but that I'll attempt to do my aqua zumba or whatever I'm going to do to weight resistance
Wall
against the water.
push-ups, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But until that pool is open in another month or so, I called Chris up because I'm like, girl, I cannot avoid Lynn anymore.
I know. How many reels do I send you about let's not get osteoporosis. Let's maintain muscle mass. Let's make sure we're on the
Yeah.
GLP-1 doing it properly. So yeah,
Yeah.
so we're both now, I guess, on our path where again mentally want to think, okay, we are a healthy individual, and that is, sometimes just sort of accepting that, okay, we weren't maybe in that headspace before, but that's where we need to stay to be, to keep being active and healthy. So it isn't about aesthetics at this point in our life. It's about being able to walk straight up with our own strength, functional movement to keep us healthy, strong, active, and,
I'm not
you
looking for a six pack. I'm looking to F
know,
the fupa. I want to get rid of the muffin top. I
no.
want to look fit and healthy and feel
Yes.
strong. That's what I want. I don't care what the number is on the scale because,
Well, that's taken a long time to get to that point because I kept saying
right? I was
it's not
obsessed with
about
the
the number on
scale.
the scale.
I
It's
was
not about
obsessed
the,
with it before.
yes. But you have to just sort of stop looking at it and think, okay, I'm going to change now. The next 6 months to a year is changing your body composition, not so much the number. The number on the scale may go back to 150, but if you're lean and strong and healthier, that's okay. Um, but
Yeah.
at the same time, long term, it's going to help your metabolism and you will burn a couple more
Yeah.
calories with that muscle, and it'll take up a lot less space. So your clothes will fit totally different. So again, that's the next part of your journey, and I'm still working to keep my strength going, and I'm So I'm excited. We're almost at the 20-minute mark. I know you've got a game coming up, or it's already on, but I think next week we're going to see we're going to listen to myself and Liz, the registered dietitian. She'll get more into some of the macronutrients and maybe not so much the math part, but just in general health. And so yeah, comment and write your questions for her. I'm going to interview her next week. So anything you want to add?
No, I'm just very grateful to have a friend in Lynn who shares her knowledge with me readily when I stalk her at midnight and I'm sending her TikToks or reels and I'm like, look at this cowboy. And she's like, I had to unfollow that guy. I would be a troll. There's so much misinformation that
I know.
I've
I
heard
mean, when
it
you
from
get
Lynn so
a
much that I
25-year
recognize it.
old skinny guy telling me about menopause, it just makes me cringe. I'm like, dude, like, stop it. Wait, you'll never be there. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I have lots of women. I just fix their gut. I'm like, oh.
Ah,
So
so
anyway,
know who
I
you're
I
following.
also appreciate having my girlfriend who challenges me to continue to walk and be, you know, um, as far as not just steps, but even just walking through life as a partner and a friend. So this is, well, have a great Sunday. This has been a quick little macronutrient. Well, maybe it got off course a little bit, but hopefully this was helpful and everyone picked up a little, couple
A
little
little nugget.
pointers.
A
Little
little
nugget.
nugget.
All
Little
right.
nugget to keep you inspired.
And go Jets go!
Go Jets. Oh, go Jets, go.
All right.
Bye, Lynn.
Bye.
Take care.